shot at me. So I felt like it was a little bit of jealousy.
No, I just didn't give an F. That's all.
Cool.
Just didn't give an F about it at all.
Yeah, but when you said in the
ended
comments,
up-
you said something there. I think he's an attention seeker. So even with the racist comments, even with the homo stuff that he was doing, I think he's just a big attention seeker. He gonna do anything to get attention on him, and I think it's gonna backfire come January 31st.
Stylistically, he believes he's the best, and I know I'm the best, and that's why we're getting to this point now. He wants to challenge himself. I'm here for it. I'm here to challenge myself every time.
Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez are gearing up for their January 31st showdown as the boxing world looks on. Elite precision, discipline, and defense collide with raw power, confidence, and aggression, making this confirmed bout one of the most anticipated fights of the year.
It's cool. He's supposed to feel that way. Like, he's supposed to say the things that he's saying. He's not saying nothing out of the ordinary or something that I didn't expect. Only thing that I kind of took away, he got on a podcast, I want to say he said that I was slow. And that's the part where I'm like, okay, he's going to be very surprised come fight night to where it's like, you really thought I was slow? Like, is that something like you put in your brain and thought it was about to come out?
Heated press conferences set the tone as Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez go face-to-face, with Teofimo's father jumping into the exchange. Shakur calls out what he sees as weaknesses in Teofimo's game and brushes off the southpaw argument, saying records mean little without elite competition. Teofimo's father fires back by questioning Shakur's resume and insisting he has to prove himself on the biggest stage. The back and forth escalates with raised voices and sharp jabs, creating a tense, personal atmosphere that adds even more drama and pressure ahead of the January 31st fight.
I'm not none of them fighters. I think that he did some great things against them guys. I seen a lot of weaknesses in his game too, and something that he said earlier, he said, Teo never lost to a southpaw. Well, I never lost to an orthodox. So it ain't no different, but
the difference is you never fought no elite fighter.
Okay, I don't think y'all did either.
Oh, so you gotta show it, baby.
I don't think
pressure's
y'all
on
did
you.
either. I ain't see.
Not on my son.
I ain't see Lomachenko throw no punches.
You've
for
never
6
been on a big
rounds.
stage like this.
I didn't see Lomachenko.
Here's a clean continuation that flows naturally from what you just wrote. Eddie Hearn added a more measured perspective, praising Shakur Stevenson as one of the most underrated fighters in the sport today. He said that despite Shakur's success at both amateur and professional levels, many fans still fail to fully appreciate his technical brilliance, speed, and ring IQ. According to Hearn, Stevenson's consistency, adaptability, and composure under pressure separate him from most of his peers, and he believes the boxing world is only now starting to realize just how special Shakur truly is.
Massively underrated in terms of his achievements and his ability. Everyone in boxing knows how good Shakur is. He is pound for pound top 5 in terms of quality. But look at the achievements of the young man. At 28 years of age, he's already a 3-division world champion. This is to become a 4-division world champion. Quite remarkable. And Teofimo always rises to the occasion. Sometimes you see a little bit of a lackluster performance when he's not motivated, when there isn't kind of any legacy on the line. This is different. This is a sold-out Madison Square Garden between two of the elite fighters of our generation. And the best thing about this fight is we're seeing...
Roy Jones Jr. offered his breakdown of the matchup during a conversation with Shakur Stevenson, pointing to adaptability as the defining factor. He explained that fighters who can move, change angles, and adjust on the fly create the toughest problems, and that dealing with movement is often the hardest test in boxing. Shakur replied that he doesn't plan to rely on a single style, saying he's ready to box, use angles, or stand his ground if that's what it takes to win. Roy praised Shakur's flexibility in past performances, noting that those traits lead to the most compelling matchups. He also acknowledged that Teofimo can be dangerous when locked in and capable of making smart in-fight adjustments. In Roy's view, the fight will come down to mindset, preparation, and execution, turning it into a high-level chess match if both fighters are fully focused.
I think you have a masterful foot game as well. And I think that's probably what's going to be to the hardest thing for him to adjust to. So how do you think he's going to adjust to that?
I don't want to give out too much. So,
Okay. All right.
but I mean, we all know he had problems with people that move around the ring. He wants to stand in front of them, and he could pick them apart when you stand right there in front of him. But I plan on doing. I mean, I'm not going to say the game plan, but I plan on doing a little bit of both.
I got you.
Plan on doing moving around. I don't plan on just standing in front. I plan on doing everything that it takes to win.
And I do applaud the fact that you did, like Andre just said, you did show people that you are versatile. You can do whatever is necessary to win a fight. This is the best, in my opinion. These are the best type of fighters to see. And Teofimo has shown sometimes that he can also be versatile and he can do whatever is necessary. Just sometimes he seems to have mental issues that go on.
Analysts have been debating the current state of boxing over the past month, noting how hype and promotion often fail to reflect reality. A major criticism centers on highly anticipated cards like the one in February 2025, which was billed as the greatest in boxing history, but fell apart due to injuries and late pullouts. Fans were left disappointed as Shakur Stevenson ended up facing an unknown opponent while several marquee matchups collapsed. This has raised serious questions about how events are marketed and how much credibility the hype really holds. Commentators also pointed out that DAZN and The Ring did a poor job promoting Shakur Stevenson's latest fight with Teofimo Lopez. Even though both fighters bring elite skill and name value, weak promotion and mixed messaging left many fans confused or unaware. On paper, it was a strong matchup, but without effective marketing, even quality fights can get lost, exposing the ongoing problems on boxing's business side.
To do that and then not even promote the fight, this is a cool fight. I don't understand. Like, to me, it's a bit bizarre because the fans came out and they were like, man, Turkey, he's taking over the game. Remember last year, about a year ago, in February of 2025, he had the card with Better Biev and Bivol and whoever else was on it. And the card was announced and people said, this is the best card that we've ever seen in boxing history. Then the fight card came. Shakur's opponent pulled out, Floyd Schofield. Daniel Dubois pulled out of the fight, right? Because he was sick. And it wasn't this legendary card that people talked about. You know what I mean? And people, no one even says that now. Before they were talking about like, oh, it's the best card boxing's ever seen. And then the card happened and it kind of just came and went. It wasn't the card that they said it was going to be. Put it that way. So that's the point I'm making in this video, is like a lot of the preconceived notions that you guys put out, not Boxing Ego. I ain't put that out on my channel. Right? But a lot of the stuff y'all said turned out to be cap. Here's the card in question, bro. They're like, this is the best card we've ever seen. And then half of the fights, two of the top three fights didn't even go off as planned because of injuries and sicknesses and pullout. And Shakur ended up fighting an electrician that no one ever heard of except for UK blokes. You know,
Floyd Schofield delivered a blunt message aimed at Shakur Stevenson, calling into question some of the hype surrounding him and other top names. He took issue with what he called fantasy matchups, arguing that neither Gervonta Davis nor Shakur has consistently faced the top 4 fighters of their era, despite fans pushing for those bouts for years. In Schofield's view, much of the talk around these fights is disconnected from the reality of how the sport actually operates. He also pushed back against comments about fighters' physiques, saying that size or a stocky build has little to do with true ability in the ring. Schofield added that he wants to see Shakur take on dangerous opponents like Khan before moving up in weight, stressing that real challenges matter more than carefully protected careers. By calling out fighters who avoid or walk away from tough matchups, Schofield said he's trying to bring accountability back to boxing, reminding everyone that hype and records alone don't define a fighter's legacy.
Shakur haven't fought none of the top 4 of his era. for the last, how many years they've been calling for them to fight these dudes not fighting like that. So that's fantasy fights, thinking, oh, Keyshawn gonna go all the way up and fight Devin. And man, that's fantasy stuff. That's all that stuff is. And
you even said that he was like cut up and shit, you know what I mean, on that, what you said, snack?
No, I said I said I respect. Oh, do you mean a thing? What you talking about?
Keisha.
Yeah, Keyshawn got stocky. He got stocky, but he stockiness don't mean nothing. Stockiness don't mean, I hope we get to fight Keyshawn before he go to 147. 140 Keyshawn would be a good fight for Kid. I think
Keyshawn. Is that why you
upset? Is
that why you upset because he's leaving?
I'm never upset. I'm not upset telling the truth about these guys leaving and running. I said it years ago what was going to happen. People told me I was lying. Oh, y'all capping. Y'all ain't going to fight Keyshawn. I said, Keyshawn ain't fighting us. I said, Shakur ain't fighting us. Yeah, we lined up for Shakur. We didn't pull out. It's a fact. Why won't we get the fight when he got out the hospital? It wasn't his fault. He trained hard. He did everything else. Somebody tried to kill him. And the toxicology showed that. Why wasn't a real champion want to give this young man a fight who really stepped up to the plate to fight him and went through all this adversity to make it there, and somebody poisoned him? He deserved a shot to fight. But that wasn't like that there. And it's for a reason. So, I found out this shit is just smoke and mirrors, man. Has nothing to do with boxing. Has a lot to do with the money made behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I know Shakur better step it up, or that's boring for boxing. So they're not gonna keep him. Even if he win, if that fight continue to be boring.
Analysts AK and Barack preview the upcoming Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez showdown by contrasting their paths and mindsets. They describe Shakur as relentlessly driven, someone who has been chasing greatness since his amateur days and is now focused on pound-for-pound status and a place among boxing's all-time greats. Teofimo, while equally gifted, has endured setbacks, including personal struggles and periods of lost motivation that once made him consider walking away from the sport. The analysts note that those experiences could either fuel a dangerous chip on his shoulder or leave openings for a laser-focused fighter like Shakur to exploit. They highlight Shakur's consistency and competitive edge, sharpened by years of elite training and sparring with fighters like Terrence "Bud" Crawford, as major advantages. At the same time, Teofimo's renewed passion and recent sharp performances against top opponents suggest he's fully locked in again. Together, those elements set the stage for a high-stakes, unpredictable, and compelling clash.
He's a kid that has always wanted to be considered the best in the sport. From the amateurs till now, he wants to be pound for pound top dog. He wants to be on Mount Rushmore, so on and so forth. Teofimo, I feel that he's had that passion, right? But he's had lapses to the, at times where he thought about even quote unquote retired and said he was done with this game. He's had, sometimes, at times issues with his father that, they've been able to reconcile and move on, but kind of lost some passion for the sport because of the way he was treated. Now, I don't know if that helps you because it creates this chip on your shoulder as a fighter to keep continuing to prove the world wrong that you are one of the best, or if it psychologically affects you against a guy like Shakur.
Yeah, I think when you go against a guy like Shakur reminds me of Bud Crawford. You can't have those lapses. You can't have that kind of mindset. And I think, Teo's been very vocal about the things that he struggled with. And, he was going through a divorce and all of these things were making it really, really hard for him to focus on his first love. But that's the thing. Recently, he said he came back to his first love. He remembers that this is what got him everything he has. And he's back in love with boxing. And that's what we've been wanting to hear. And when we see a Teo like that, he's sharp against Josh Taylor. When we see a Teo like that, he's sharp against Lomachenko and also willing to fight all these guys. Now think about this. I know we call big, heavy punches the boogeyman, but usually the boogeyman is the guy that's hard to beat. And Shakur,
Shakur Stevenson says he enters every fight with one goal: total dominance. No matter the opponent, he wants his performance to be so clear and convincing that there's no room for controversy on the scorecards. That mindset, driven by a constant chip on his shoulder, pushes him to control every moment in the ring and prove he belongs among the best of his era. He believes a win in this fight would place him firmly in the top 5 pound for pound and establish him as one of boxing's four kings. For Shakur, it's not just about winning, but how he wins. His style, precision, and authority will shape how he's remembered. He also took a shot at Teofimo Lopez's antics, calling them attention-seeking and predicting they'll backfire on January 31st. While he's spoken with Floyd Mayweather, Shakur says it wasn't about game plans, just conversation. His focus is on proving everything inside the ring, letting his skill, speed, and determination do the talking in this high-stakes showdown.
Do I gotta be dominant? I think every fight that I set up, I want to be dominant. I don't care who in front of me. I want to dominate. I want to beat you to where judges don't feel like they can rob me. So I always got that feeling. I always got that chip on my shoulder.
If you do win this fight, what do you think it does for your career?
I think it put me top 5 pound for pound. I think it puts me like one of the best fighters in my era. I think it just established that I'm that guy. Like, I'll be one of the 4 kings that they call the 4 kings, and it also depends on the fashion that I do it. So, it's gonna be interesting.
But what be going on with this Teo dude though, man? I be seeing these videos online of him making racist comments. You be seeing that, man?
I think he's an attention seeker. So even with the racist comments, even with the homo stuff that he was doing, I think he's just a big attention seeker. He gonna do anything to get attention on him, and I think it's gonna backfire come January 31st.
And I heard you say that you and Floyd spoke about this fight.
No, I ain't really asked him advice about the fight. When I talk to him, we talk about different things, but he just was telling me that I should be the A side in the fight.
Here's a clean rewrite of that. Bosnianis delivers a blunt message for Teofimo. Shakur Stevenson's speed is his true power. While many point to Teofimo's size, athleticism, and explosiveness as advantages, Andis reminds everyone that Shakur has already outboxed much bigger fighters, even light heavyweights, by using movement, timing, and precision. He warns that Shakur's punches are more dangerous than they look, because the shots you don't see are the ones that do the most damage. Andis believes the fight is likely to go the distance and end in a decision, but he also cautions that one mistake from Teofimo, stepping into Shakur's timing, could change everything instantly. Shakur's speed, accuracy, and boxing IQ make him dangerous at any weight, and Teofimo can't rely on strength alone. If he doesn't respect Shakur's timing and agility, he risks getting caught when he least expects it.
People think, a lot of people say it's going to be easy and all that. Nah. Teofimo can punch and he can box. And like I said, he's real athletic. So, that'll make it a little difficult right there,
I see a lot of people going back and forth with it. Some people think Teo got the advantage because of the weight and that he's athletic and explosive. Some people say Shakur is the better boxer.
Yes.
Right? How you see that fight ending?
Well, they saying, they got the weight and all that. I see Shakur box big guys, light heavyweights and all that stuff. Just like moves, he box heavyweights and put heavyweights down. You know what I mean? I think that's the right move for him. You know what I mean? Get up, and I think he can really do good at that weight.
Decision or stoppage?
I'm looking at a decision, not a stoppage. But then it all according how Teo come in. Teo come at him. He's gonna run into some shots. It might be over. You know what I mean?
Now you always tell me it's the shot that you don't see coming.
That's it.
That power is speed.
Right.
So could it be a situation where people underestimate Shakur's punching power?
Yeah. I think Shakur can punch. You know what I mean? I think he can punch. It's just like I said, speed is power. Not them guys, muscle-bound guys come in and jump.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned. Until next time.